grab them, and quickly bite them on the side of the torso, near where the adrenal gland is located. It uses its large teeth to anchor its mouth in place, as it uses the needles on its forked tongue to probe into their body. With one needle,
What is up, guys? Yes, it's your boy Skylight Awakens here, and we are back with another episode of that good old Should I Even Need to Remind Y'all? Skylight Reacts. Now guys, we are checking out Dr. Bob and we are watching, this one is kind of self-explanatory. We are watching an SCP, but somebody did it on 015 and it's about the Boogeyman. Now I ain't talking about a man that just picks his boogies for fun. I'm talking about, y'all know the ancient story about the Boogeyman. The dude who eats worms, he hides under kids' beds, he tries to kill them with a broken broom or suffocate them with the pillow. That type of dude. I ain't talking about the WWE wrestler, and I'm not gonna lie, growing up as a kid, seeing that kind of boogeyman on WWE, it kind of gave me nightmares. But Dr. Bob had his animation team pretty much create an SCP about the boogeyman. And one, it was like one of those characters that I personally was afraid of as a kid growing up. I don't know why I didn't react to this sooner. It's probably because I was dealing with this display back here and I just had a lot going on this week. We're here to dive into the action. Y'all already know I'm going to analyze this, like my what if scenarios, what would I do differently. But anyway, y'all, let's just dive into the action. I'll also link this in the description below for you guys to check out their YouTube channel as well. Without further ado, y'all, let's get it.
A young man is in the middle of one of his regular night jogs through the park.
Okay, first of all, who jogs in the middle of the night?
It's dark,
it wouldn't be
the air is cool, and the sounds of the city that surround the park disappear, offering peace, quiet, and a small reprieve from the busy world. He jogs along a path that winds through the park and starts upon a section that is surrounded on both sides by tall trees.
Trying to get like him.
He follows the path around a sharp bend and is stopped in his tracks. Standing there, in the middle of the track, is a figure. It has its back to him and isn't moving. He's tall and so uniformly black that he almost disappears into the night. Whoever or whatever.
Okay, you better go the other way.
He's scared of it. But the creature doesn't
go the other way.
And neither does he. He's
frozen, don't freeze.
Unsure of what to do when the creature suddenly turns his head towards him, revealing a pair of bright, glowing eyes.
Oh.
The runner is so terrified he can't even scream. He falls and crawls backwards in the dirt, trying to
How
get away from the creature. The creature turns its body towards him and begins stepping forward. The runner scrambles to his feet and runs. He's sprinting as hard and as fast as he can. Adrenaline.
You don't look like you're going that fast.
Trying to put as much distance as he can between himself and that thing. His muscles burn, his lungs ache, but he can't stop. Finally, he's back at his house. He bursts through the door, locking and bolting it behind him. His girlfriend is reading on the couch and doesn't understand what's going on. After struggling to catch his breath, he tries to explain what he saw on the path, but his girlfriend just laughs. A giant man with glowing eyes. He was just seeing things in the dark. It was probably a dog, nothing that would justify the panic he was now in. The next day, he's left wondering if he really was mistaken. Those piercing, glowing eyes are burned into his mind, though. Maybe his girlfriend was right, and it really was just a dog. Yes,
don't go on another night jog.
His mind was just playing tricks on him in the dark. Even so, he's going to stick to running inside, at least for a little while. But he soon finds that he's having a hard time. He notices that he's running out of breath much quicker than normal. Is he coming down with something? He doesn't feel sick, but then why is he suddenly so weak? 2 weeks have passed since he saw something in the park. No one he brought it up to, not his friends, not his co-workers, have ever heard of such a thing. And no one seemed like they believed him either. At this point, he is feeling sure that he really did imagine it, but he can't get that image of whatever it was out of his head.
Well, I wouldn't advise him going back outside.
Forever, though. He misses his night runs. It's time to get over his fear.
Okay.
He's running through the park again, enjoying the silence and the light breeze on his skin. He continues down the path, acutely aware that he's getting closer and closer to the spot where he saw that thing before. He can't stop, though. He has to prove to everyone that he's not afraid. he has to prove it to himself. He reaches the part of the path that runs through the tall trees.
See, this is why people like this get killed so quickly.
The sounds of the city melt away, the only sound coming from his steady, heavy breathing. He follows the winding path and feels his heart starting to race, but he has to keep going. He rounds the same corner, and nothing is there. He slows to a stop. Of course nothing is here. Nothing ever was. He really did imagine it. Or
okay. I knew it.
Buongiorno. Today's file comes from the Italian branch of the SCP Foundation. SCP-015-IT, also known as the Boogeyman.
Yep.
SCP-015-IT is a humanoid entity that stands just under 2 meters tall. Its body is devoid of any hair, and its dark, black skin absorbs 98% of all light, making it virtually invisible in low light. Its head lacks a nose or ears, but these missing features are hardly noticed, because if you see 015-IT, its eyes are what demand all of your attention. While the Boogeyman's skin is completely black, its eyes contain light-producing organs on the irises, causing them to glow in the dark, like a deep-sea predator. Its mouth contains 8 pointed teeth on both the upper and lower jaws, and a long 28-centimeter forked tongue. The 2 tips of its tongue each have a hollow, needle-like organ that leads straight into its esophagus. More on what it does with that specialized biological feature soon. Physically, SCP-015-IT is rather slight, but it is surprisingly strong and easily able to overpower an adult human. Its skinny arms are much longer than an average human's, and each of its 4 fingers ends in a razor-sharp claw. It has also been shown to be quite resistant to physical injuries and possesses the ability to heal wounds and damage to internal organs at a hyper-accelerated rate.
Okay, so this man's Logan too.
SCP-015-IT is primarily active at night, which is unsurprising given its skin's natural camouflage in the dark. The Boogeyman hunts mammals, with humans being its preferred prey, but it does not feed on flesh. Instead, SCP-015-IT draws its sustenance from the adrenaline and noradrenaline produced by its quarry. Adrenaline and noradrenaline are chemicals the body produces to increase heart rate, blood flow, and provide more energy to the muscles in moments of stress, or in the case of SCP-015-IT, extreme fear. And it has developed a hunting method to cause this exact reaction in humans. 015-IT will usually hide in dark spots, trying to keep out of sight as much as possible as it stalks.
So this thing is like
Pennywise.
If
it has been able to remain unseen, it will wait for a moment when its prey has become distracted, so it can silently approach them. Once close enough, it will leap towards its unaware victim, grab them, and quickly bite them on the side of the torso, near where the adrenal gland is located. It uses its large teeth to anchor its mouth in place, as it uses the needles on its forked tongue to probe into their body. With one needle, it pierces directly into the adrenal gland and begins draining the blood that is now rich with fear-induced adrenaline. At the exact same time, the other needle releases a mild sedative, allowing 015-IT to feed and then depart without risk, as the victim remains immobile. Another anomalous effect occurs when someone is unlucky enough to actually see the Boogeyman. Roughly 2 weeks after observing the creature, the person who saw it will begin experiencing various detrimental mental effects, including hallucinations and panic attacks. Some will also begin to experience physical issues, most often damage to the cardiovascular system. It is unknown why exactly these mental and physical effects occur, but it is theorized that SCP-015-IT may use it as a way to weaken certain prey that it considers too strong or potentially dangerous.
Wow.
In 2011, the Boogeyman was actually contained, but not by the SCP Foundation. The Brotherhood of St. George's Knights is a secret order in the Catholic Church that was created by the Pope in the year 453 to either contain or eliminate all anomalies, and it was this group that first captured SCP-015-IT, which they designated as Dia 212, in line with their own classification system.
I know this thing isn't classified as safe.
While it was in their containment, they made a number of discoveries about the creature that they labeled as a shadow demon. First, they found that while it feeds on the fear of its victims by ingesting their blood, it doesn't actually require this to survive. Dia 212, as they call it, is an unstable entity, and feeding allows it to maintain its physical shape in our reality. In addition to its impressive physical strength, the Boogeyman is also quite intelligent, as seen by its ability to successfully hunt, attack, and escape from humans.
Yeah, the thing is
Strangely,
like a
it also
night
appears
owl.
to be resistant to weapons which have been blessed, causing only a fraction of the physical damage that they should when compared to a similar, non-holy version. During the course of research into the creature, Father Ilardi, a member of the Brotherhood of St. George's Knights, wrote that despite the creature being repugnant beyond every limit, he believed that it had a gentle soul, and that its screams are similar to a pained cry. He postulated that SCP-015-IT may have even once been a human before some dark force transformed it into the monster that it had become. He decided that it was his mission to find a way to communicate with the creature, and one day bring it back into the light and love of his god. Father Ilardi was making good progress with the creature, and it seemed like it was even growing fond of him and his disciples. But his advances were halted when they were attacked by a group of soldiers from the Fascist Council of the Occult, a terrorist group that seeks to use anomalies as weapons in their quest to disrupt the social order. In the attack, several of the Brotherhood were killed, and in the commotion, SCP-015-IT escaped. Following this, reports soon began to come from the province of Caserta that described what sounded like vampire attacks. A mobile task force was sent to the area, and while 015-IT was initially able to make use of its various physical abilities to evade and escape capture, it was eventually shot with a transmitter that allowed it to be tracked. The Italian mobile task force was able to surround the creature, but fearing being contained again, it responded with a level of violence that it had not been thought capable of. Several members of the task force were killed in the line of duty before the boogeyman could finally be subdued. Today, SCP-015-IT is contained at Site Vittoria in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy. Since this anomaly is both sentient and highly unpredictable in its behavior, it has been classified as Euclid. It is kept in a standard humanoid entity containment cell and is monitored by video cameras and infrared sensors at all times. Due to the light-absorbing properties of its skin, its cell and the adjacent corridors are painted white and are to be kept well lit at all times. Twice a day, SCP-015-IT is given a normal domestic pig that it is allowed to feed on. Any personnel assigned to 015-IT duty must undergo a psychological assessment on a weekly basis, and, regardless of the results, must be cycled out after 3 months of exposure to the boogeyman. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob, and be sure to subscribe as we delve further and further into the SCP Foundation's classified archives. Ciao!
Ciao. That's a new one. I've never thought that somebody could just get that freaking creative on an SCP about the boogeyman. Dude! The man feeds on the blood. Its tongue penetrates through like the ribs. Well, it's at the torso, and then it grabs like this organ that it just feeds on. I forgot what he called it, but it drinks that, and then it puffs gas in there, and then the person just remains T-posed. What really, I want to say blew my mind out the water was when the Brotherhood actually captured the thing, and they tried using blessed weapons to harm it, and they were break and shatter. But the main leader actually tried communicating it, and he had a prediction like, maybe this thing was just possessed by something, and we can just exorcise it, so that way it can come back to what it used to be. You know, living the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And it turns out that strategy was working. He was actually having some verbal communication with it. But then the freaking army comes in and says, gang, gang, sucker, we gonna use this thing to kill people. I shouldn't be laughing at that because that's freaked up on how they just killed him. But dang, man. Everything was going according to plan, but somebody had to be nosy and wanted to use creatures as power. Because, you know, humans have human greed. Next thing you know, they go to contain it. And since people were scared, it caused it to just trigger, and it started eating other people. Instead of killed multiple people that were trying to contain that thing. I only saw 2 soldiers. Ain't no telling how many was in their squad capacity. But next thing you know, now they got it contained, and I called it. Freak. I can never say the name right. You know, there's a classified as safe, Euclid, and then the red symbol. I can't remember the red symbol, but I called it Euclid, and next thing you know, it was that. I knew it wasn't going to be contained as safe because that thing is like a predator. It creeps in the night, and you can't see it. The only thing you can see is like its headlight eyes. But man, first of all, if I was the first dude that we saw get pretty much obliterated, if I was him, first of all, I go jogging. I do. But I wouldn't go jogging in the middle of the night. That's just stupid. There's weird people out there, and then there's just animals out there. I'm not trying to deal with that. That's like we have coyotes where I live. If a coyote saw me jogging in the middle of the night, it's gonna chase after me. And my car could be distance away. That's one reason why I don't jog at night. Heck, there could be a coyote in the morning, but I'm just saying, I'd rather jog on a treadmill and a gym with public society. I don't go jogging in areas where there's nobody there. I get it, the man's antisocial, but I would have used wisdom with that. But anyway, guys, this SCP was pretty creative. I like how they pretty much talked about the boogeyman and all seriousness. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's episode of Skylight Reacts. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you're ready for the next episode, you know what to do for your boy. Make sure you smack that like button and subscribe today to join the club. And God bless. Thank you all for watching. Alright, party people, you know how we rock. Get out there on the dance floor and show Skylight what you got.